Okay, on today's show, I have singer-songwriter James Cole. He's got a brand new single out called Type of Guy. He is also, I think, starting a new adventure up in Nashville, which I hope we can talk about, as well as a whole
Yeah.
lot of other stuff regarding his music. So welcome to the show, James.
Hey.
So you are from Florida originally.
Yes, I'm from Tampa, Florida. That's right.
Cool. So tell me, how did you get from Florida to Nashville, and how is this going to all tie in with your new single?
Well, so I'm actually mainly here for college. Of course, Nashville is the music capital of the world, or they say. And the music influence here is absolutely incredible. I've already been to like 3 shows while I'm here, and there's bars where there's live music all the time. It's really great. But I'm primarily here for college at Belmont University, and Belmont really has one of the greatest songwriting programs in the world. So I'm majoring in songwriting, so that's really what I want to do with my life, as well as be an artist, of course. I'd love to actually really songwrite for other artists. So I think Belmont has a lot to offer when it comes to there as far as connections and internships and all that. So hopefully that's where I'll be.
Well, that's good to hear. You know, I was reading some of your bio, and you actually went to a School of the Performing Arts, Howard Blake
Yes, I
School.
did.
And
Yes,
I was
did.
really
So
touched by, you said you didn't plan on it, but when you went there, you kind of discovered songwriting, and it seemed to really click with you right away, and that became, you know, a big passion of yours.
Yes, absolutely. When I went to Blake, I actually majored in guitar, which I, to this day, will not call myself a guitarist. I do play guitar, but that's not really my primary thing. Being an artist really is. So when it comes to singing and producing and writing and stuff like that, that's my primary thing. But I went there and studied classical guitar there. And while I was doing that, even though that was basically just a class that I took, what I really fell in love with was making my own music and writing and performing and all that jazz. So I actually was not planning on being an artist when I went to Blake. I was planning on being really just a musician and somebody who would go ahead and play gigs and, you know, just basically I was not trying to make my own music. I wasn't trying to go big or anything. I basically just planned on being a musician and actually going to law school. So I wanted to be a musician by night and lawyer by day, go to law school, get a degree in that, and practice criminal law. But then eventually once I learned that I actually had the gift of songwriting, that's when I decided, well, not everyone can do this, so maybe I have a shot out of all the millions of people trying to achieve this one goal.
Well, that's a really cool thing to learn so early in life, you know, to be so clear on what you want to do. But, you know, when I think of a School of the Performing Arts, the first thing that pops into my head is the movie Fame.
Uh-huh.
Remember that? Remember the original and the remake? I guess there was a remake. Okay, you're probably too young to know the original. Okay,
yeah,
so I
I've heard of it, but I have not seen it.
So, like, what's it like in this school? Are people, like, singing in the lunchroom and dancing in the halls? You know, what was it like at that high school?
Actually, yeah, to be honest, you usually see that from the people who major in musical theater. They're always singing. They're always doing vocal warm-ups in the hall, in the lunchroom. People are always playing guitar at lunch and stuff like that. And, I mean, it's kind of cool when you first get there. After 4 years, it's really annoying. But you do see a lot of that. People are very dedicated to their craft. They're always in practice rooms and stuff like that. When you go into the music building, you're always going to be hearing music at some point in the building. You're going to be hearing music somewhere. It's never silent in there. So it keeps it interesting.
Well, I think your story is really inspiring because nowadays a lot of people, I think, through social media, I'll do a few cover songs of my favorite artists, I'll be discovered, and pow, I'll be famous. And it seems like not everyone appreciates education nowadays, but it sounds like you're really embracing it and giving yourself a real solid understanding of both music and the music industry.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm obviously I'm not very like in because I'm not one of those people who don't try like to just do it without getting educated on anything. I'm not really sure how that route is going to pan out, but it does seem to me that if you do that, you don't know anything about the music business, then you're not really going to survive the music business. You really could end up getting screwed over really badly later on down the road. So I think that the importance of being educated on your music theory and the music business and all of the aspects of music, not just being talented, I think that's definitely important, and that'll get you a lot further along in your career.
Well, again, that's very impressive. That's so young, you figured that out for yourself. But let's
Thank
go
you.
back to, oh, sure. Your debut single was called Just Because. So
Right.
between that and your new single, Type of Guy, how many songs have you put out so far?
So I like to say 4.5 because one of them is a remix. So one of them is technically the same song, but it's a different song because it's a remix. But I'm putting out 4 different songs since then. It's going to be Just Because, Nobody Else, Cali Queen, and Type of Guy. So, yeah.
And for how many of those have you made music videos?
2. So I made
2.
a music video I made a music video for Cali Queen. I made a lyric video for Cali Queen, and I also made a music video for Type of Guy, which Type of Guy is going to be the music video for Type of Guy is going to be coming out very soon.
Well, I've seen a sneak peek online, and for the people out there, I'll try to describe it. It's like you play different types of guys. It's like you have, I don't know, 8 or 9 different personas.
So basically, the concept of Type of Guy is of the music video is I'm trying to get this girl, and she's a photographer. So the goal is to do a photo shoot with her, and basically that's the only way I can get her to spend time with me because I asked her out, and she wasn't feeling me because I'm not her type. So I was like, okay, well, do you do photography? And she's like, yes. And I could come back to her studio, and we could do some work. And in the video, you're basically seeing me be all these different characters and try to be her type and figure out what she likes, but she keeps on rejecting me over and over and over again. And I keep on coming back trying to get another chance so I can spend even more time with her, and basically it keeps on happening for 8 different people.
Well, on your YouTube channel, there's actually some behind-the-scenes footage of the making of that video. And what's kind of cool about that is kind of showing you being directed on camera, and it looked like you really had a lot of fun doing that.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. Me and the cast and crew. The cast and crew was actually one of them was a friend in California, and who lives in California, and another one is actually a friend that goes to my school. And we used ClearTrack Studios. They have like a kind of a video production business, and they're based in Clearwater, Florida. So it was a lot of fun. We're all really close, and it was just it was a great experience.
So out of all those characters, you're playing in that, which is closest to you?
Really, I would have to say.
I know that's a tough question to throw at you.
Nah, it's all good. I would have to. Well, first of all, obviously the beginning of the video where I'm actually talking on FaceTime with Carla, which is the girl who rejected me. I would definitely say that's the closest to me. That's really how I dress in day-to-day life. However, the rapper, the one who's doing the rap part in the video, who's going to be dressed in all white, that's actually going to be closer to my performance side. That's the kind of clothes that I wear in performance. So I would definitely say those 2 characters. But the other 6 characters that I had in the video are definitely nothing like me.
Well, your music seems very suitable for modern pop radio, but how would you describe it? Everyone wants to narrow you down to a genre so they know what radio station they can play you on. But if you kind of ignore that, what are your influences, and how do you want to be recognized for your style of music?
Well, I would so my my music is definitely pop. I would have, without a doubt, it's definitely pop, but it also has a lot of hip hop and R&B influence on it. For example, one of my songs, Nobody Else, is probably considered definitely just R&B. And then songs like Cali Queen and Type of Guy, those are definitely pop songs, but Cali Queen has some R&B flavor in it with the hook, and then Type of Guy has hip-hop flavor in the rap. So I grew up around plenty of different styles of music, ranging from pop to R&B to jazz to hip-hop. I basically listened to it all just because that's what my dad and my mom would listen to. So, and I also write a lot of singer-songwriter stuff. But with that being said, I would definitely call myself a pop R&B artist because that's where really like the genres blend. But as far as radio is concerned, I would definitely just call myself a top 40 radio artist. Basically that kind of style in pop.
Well, you could do worse. I mean, that's pretty good to be out there in the pop world. That's where the audience is.
Yes. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I love doing it because when you get into genres like neo soul or like classic R&B and stuff like that, there's very tight audiences for it. And one thing that I love about pop is realistically almost everybody listens to pop and almost everybody loves it. When it comes to like people who fans of R&B, fans of hip hop, fans of pop, most people listen to pop just because it's a very catchy genre. Now I will say that it's not going to be. There's a lot of people who wouldn't say that pop is their favorite genre, but they still will listen to it. So that kind of puts me at a great spot to get to really catch the attention of a lot of people.
I'm going to put you on the spot again. So I heard your Q&A on YouTube. It's almost like I think your fans sent you questions and you answered them on camera.
Right.
But you mentioned like your most favorites were like Bruno Mars, Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
So go back to what you're saying about your parents. Out of all the parents you heard as a kid that your parents listened to, which of those did you like the best?
That is a good question.
And I'm guessing this was like in the late 90s, early 2000s kind of era.
I'm not gonna lie. Most of the music that my parents listened to, I can't even say that I remember. I can just say that it has had an influence on what I like to listen to now, if that makes sense. So, like, for example, my dad would listen to a lot of old hip-hop, like Run DMC, Tupac Shakur, Will Smith, like a lot of those artists. And my mom, she listened to a lot of just regular contemporary music, even Christian contemporary music, a lot of Becca Shea, a lot of Matthew West, and then going into pop genres, a lot of Bruno Mars. Ariana Grande wasn't really out back then, but basically the people that you would really hear on the radio, like The Scripts, who have the song Break Even, who else? Snow Patrol and stuff like that. So I basically really had a mixed background because my parents, they were both very different in what they liked to listen to. So I kind of had a blend of everything.
Mm-hmm. Well, it sounds like that's good because then it gives you a broader range to be inspired by.
Right.
Well, what also comes through is you have a big love of Florida, where you come from.
I love Florida, yes.
Maybe the tourism board will let you do an endorsement someday for them.
Maybe.
So what I'm curious about, like I remember in the 80s, music from Florida, like Freestyle, Miami Sound Machine. Did you grow up listening to much of that, or are there remnants of that now that still inspire you?
Not really. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Oh, have you ever heard Gloria Estefan?
I have not.
Okay, then here's your homework. When you get off the phone with me, go online, and you're going to look up Miami Sound Machine and Gloria Estefan, because back in the 80s and 90s, they were part of that whole Miami sound, which was really exciting, really, really good breakthrough pop music. But hey, let's follow up more with what's going on with you with Type of Guy. So that dropped just a couple weeks ago in, what was that,
right.
August 23rd? So what's been the response to that so far?
Absolutely outstanding. It's definitely my fastest growing song ever. It's already at, give me a second, I can check right now.
It's great that you can look up stats right away. They could not do that back in the 80s.
So the song is actually at 43,000 streams right now, and counting.
Nice.
So yeah, and it's played in over 50 countries. It's played in it's played all over the U.S. It's really doing way better than I expected, actually. It's definitely caught up to most of my songs. It's already passed the Cali Queen remix, and it's catching Cali Queen, which I am excited about because I love to see that, like, my music is growing faster and faster and outdoing my other songs. I like breaking my records and stuff like that. So that's just a personal thing for me.
Well, it's so cool you check those stats. So outside of the U.S., what are the top countries that people are listening to the song in?
Okay, hold on. I can tell you in a second.
There's always some zinger that you never expect.
Yeah, the United States currently has 27,000, of course. And then there's Sweden that has 2.7. That's my 2.7 thousand. That's my second country. Norway is my third country. The UK is my fourth country, and Germany is my fifth. So, and then of course it goes on and on from there. Actually, if the exact number of countries that I'm listening to is 76, which actually happened mainly because of the playlist that I'm put on. I really, honestly, I gotta say I got really lucky. I was put on a really big Spotify playlist when the song dropped, and from there it snowballed. So people listened to my song and put it on their playlist, and their listeners did the same thing. And I think that's really just how the song grew over time. So I'm so blessed to have that happen to me. It really exceeded my expectations.
Well, one neat thing about seeing those stats is you can think, oh, they really like me in Sweden and Norway. Maybe I should go tour there someday. Yeah, are those countries you'd like to do a tour at someday?
Of course, yes. That's my dream, touring the world, singing in all these different countries. Like, that would just be amazing.
Well, one question I always like to ask musicians is, and you can't say Bruno Mars or Shawn Mendes or Ariana Grande, you have to pick a new one, is if you could open for any current act and tour with them, who would you love to open with, and whose audience do you think would really appreciate your music too?
Gosh, yeah. I definitely would say Shawn Mendes, but since you said I can't say him.
Have to make you dig a little bit.
I want to say, I would say Taylor Swift. I have a lot of respect for Taylor Swift as a songwriter and as an artist. And I think I'm not going to say my music is similar to hers, but I would say my lyrics are very similar to hers, how my melodies can be a little bit. And I think her audience would like me, yeah. So I would say Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm. Well, so back to the songwriting part, who are other people that you really have been inspired by, strictly from a songwriting point of view?
Yeah, definitely. Taylor Swift would probably be my favorite songwriter. Who is that one person that I just discovered? I don't remember. From a producing aspect, Max Martin.
Okay.
Bruno
Isn't
Mars,
Max Martin
definitely.
from? Is he from Sweden?
He is from Sweden. Yeah, that's correct. He's from Sweden.
So maybe that's a little another Sweden connection for you.
There we go. There we go. Who else?
So it sounds like you're aiming for just the really successful pop crossover people. Sounds like you're just inspired, really,
definitely.
by the best of what's out there right now.
Definitely.
Well, I also like the fact you said, you're going to school in Nashville, but taking time out, to listen to the local music, which is easy at the beginning of the quarter, but throughout your time there, are you going to make a point to immerse yourself in the music there and to really go out and hear a lot of live music?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Realistically, you don't even have a choice to. If you go out, you're going to hear live music playing if you go outside your dorm. So, I absolutely love it. I love going down Music Row and seeing all the record labels. And then there's this street. I don't remember what street it is, but it basically has a ton of bars, and I know they call it honky tonks here. And there's a lot of live music basically everywhere. So I love when I eat out, I love to go eat out at places where they have live music, and which is, to be honest, most places. But yeah, I definitely love to immerse myself in the music culture here. It's absolutely amazing.
Do you think some country influences are going to creep into your music?
Probably not. I don't think so. I wouldn't say that.
Are you a country music fan at all?
Not really. No. There are a couple artists that I've listened to that's like, yeah, I like their music. Like, there's definitely outliers because I'm definitely not the type of person who's not willing to listen to a genre, because a genre is definitely a broad range of music. So there's definitely going to be country songs out there that I do like to listen to. Like, for example, Think Before You Cheat by Carrie Underwood, and songs like that. Like, there's just some country songs that are just absolutely, like, incredible. So I wouldn't say that I'm just opposed to the genre. And I've written one song that people say could really cross over as a country song. I don't think so, but I've gotten that a lot. So we'll see what happens. I mean, if somebody asks me to write a country song and they're paying me to do it, I will definitely jump on that in a heartbeat, because songwriting is my passion. But when it comes to writing for myself as an artist, I probably won't really have anything to do with that area.
Well, it'll be interesting to see 4 years from now what your answer to that question will be.
Okay.
Because who knows? But that's also part of the university experience, is to open yourself up to new experience, to learn different things. So who knows? But maybe you'll teach someone something they didn't know. Maybe you'll share a little of your Florida-flavored R&B pop,
Yeah.
It goes both ways. Well, we're going to wrap up here in a little bit, but before I ask you one or two more questions, I first want to make sure that the people listening know the best place online to learn more about you and to buy your songs.
Definitely, that would be, well, I do have a website, which is going to be jamescolelive.com, and that's JamesColelive.com, and you can listen to my music literally anywhere at Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer, Amazon, Google Play, basically any streaming service that's out. You can also buy it on iTunes. I know people don't really do that anymore, but I mean, it helps a lot when people do that. So you can really get my music anywhere.
Well, I encourage people to seek you out. When does the full music video for Type of Guy hit YouTube?
We do not have a release date for that yet, but it will be soon. It will be definite. It'll definitely be within the next month or two.
Okay, so they should just check your website for updates.
Basically, yeah. And also, you can follow me on Instagram at James Cole Live. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all of that. It's going to be James Cole Live. Again, that's JamesTollive.
Perfect. So one last question. I love the fact that you used to play classical guitar. So are you keeping that up? Are you still doing classical guitar?
No, I'm honestly not. I don't know. So to be honest, when I went to Blake High School, I didn't actually realize that we were studying classical guitar. And I probably wouldn't have I probably wouldn't have majored in guitar had I known that. To be honest, I'm glad I did, though, because when you do learn the classical background and foundation of your instrument, it does help a lot with almost every other area and aspect of the instrument. So I'm a lot better at classical. I mean, I'm a lot better at guitar in general because I did go there. But classical guitar is definitely not my thing, and I really didn't even take my classical guitar to college when I came here. Because I just don't have any reason to really keep working at that. So.
Cool. Well,
no.
So you checked that off your bucket list, classical guitar,
yeah,
and it helped you find your true path. So, well, I've really been enjoying talking to you, James. I've really enjoyed the music I've heard of you, and I'm just really impressed with how dedicated you are. I know you're going to nail this university experience and come out even stronger, but above all, are you going to promise me to look up Gloria Estefan and Miami Sound Machine?
Yes.
I think you're in for a real treat there.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.